So we're just pausing outside this teleporter. Now we just stepped through these red brick teleporters. Sometimes you have to click on them, and we're in a room with a slaughterfish. Weird that they can exist here, yeah. But these random enemies, these can be Atronarchs or anything else. I'd highly recommend that before you get to that red brick teleporter, that you actually use some sort of recall spell, otherwise there's no way back. You know, getting back is going to be a real hassle. So, you know, going up these steps and everything like that, that's not too bad, retracing your pathway, because this is a fairly linear dungeon. It just gets tricky if you actually have to go back to the teleporters and there's no way back. There's a ghost in front of me. You can deal with those all day. Now, just have to check in here. I'm sure that's where the ghost came out of, so I don't have to worry. This teleporter, strangely enough, it's not one that you can walk through. You have to actually click on it, and you can try walking into it, but it just acts as another part of scenery. So just click on it like a trap or like a lever, and it actually happens to teleport you somewhere else. So you get a lot of things like this in Daggerfall, a lot of kind of tricky things that you wouldn't quite know, a lot of kind of scenery such as torches, skulls, little things on the table that suddenly turn into triggerable items and you just don't know about it. That's a bad thing, you know, so that's kind of a bad thing, because you have to basically go around clicking on everything. So let's click on it, and we get transported to just a skeletal warrior. Not too bad to cope with. We can just deal with these all day. Skeletal warriors, incredibly easy to deal with. What have we got here? Just an iron. We're still just they're churning out. The enemies are just churning out bad equipment, what we don't really need. This stuff is quite good. Holy tomes are worth a lot. That's 2,500 gold. That's actually more value for money in terms of gold per weight ratio than anything else. So definitely worth picking up those. Maybe even keeping some gold like that before you end up going to the bank. Anyway, we have to leave this room. Let's take the exit south. Let's see what's behind this door. Okay, so I hear some enemies out there, lots of enemies out there, so I want to be quite careful, but this seems to open out into a big central area with a pool in the middle, and this is a very, very typical area. If you go and do a lot of dungeon questing, you'll see this all the time, because this is one of their favourite linking areas that they have. There's a chain in front of us, a chain dangling down, and we want to go up to that chain, we want to pull on that chain, and what that does is that it sets us up to give us a levitation spell. Of course, we've got our own levitation spell. It's too far away from that, but we can just get a bit closer. So it just gives us a levitation spell in case you don't have it. That lasts for a reasonable amount of time. We just need to levitate our way up to the top platform and get onto that platform, and in front of us we have a skeleton. Hasn't noticed us yet. Sometimes if your sneak is hard enough, they'll actually stand back and you can actually backstab them. Again, all this is randomly generated. You don't necessarily backstab if you hit them in the back, you just need to complete all the dice rolls to get through. Now, where do we need to go from here? I think from here we just need to go back onto that grey concrete area and we'll head up west. See what this skeleton has first of all, anything good for us. Just a little bit of gold. And we've got enough room for a dagger to sell off later anyway. Always a good idea to save. Let's carry on moving up this stairwell. There's always an enemy popping around the corner. Like enemies in this game, they are immediately attracted to you. If they detect you, if you fail your sneak roll, they will immediately come after you, which is why you hear doors opening all the time around you, because enemies are just trying to get out of their little rooms and opening their doors to get you. Right, we're not too bothered about these spells that they're casting at us. We can absorb them. There's another enemy. And the only enemies that are really going to hurt me are going to be liches and vampires. Anything else, I highly doubt that they'll damage me. I mean, there's a lot of other creatures that we haven't encountered yet because we haven't done any random dungeon questing. For instance, we haven't seen a giant yet, we haven't seen a water nymph, we haven't seen quite a few other little creatures that only appear at a low level. Because we're going through a few undead dungeons and necromancer dungeons, we're only really seeing skeletons, vampires, ghosts, wraiths, and of course just NPCs like warriors and barbarians and spell swords, things like that. Later on, of course, we'll head up against Daedra, and Daedra in this game, that actually includes things like Frost Atronachs and Fire Atronachs. They're listed as Fire Daedra and Frost Daedra, and you even get things like Flesh Daedra, and just deal with these wraiths, two wraiths coming around the corner. They do quite a lot of damage to you, I've got to say, if they hit you. I can use my heal spells all the way to heal me, as long as I don't take away too much magicka, because I don't want to end up not being able to fire my destructive spell. So, need to be a little bit cautious about that. Just trying to find an area to rest to charge up my magicka. Otherwise, it would be really useful if I had a magicka potion, but I don't think there's a way to do that. I know you can get healing potions, stamina potions. Somehow you can find them as random loot, or you can buy them somewhere, but I haven't found a place to buy any magicka potions right now. Right now, this little maze is a bit of a nightmare. It's only a bit of a nightmare because these pillars are shaped to confuse you. You just want to head west out of this room. And of course it's a bit mazy because everything looks exactly the same, but we just want to head pretty much where my cursor was there, and then we just carry on out. Now we have to go back and see Medora, who's Lysandros' lover, quite a few times, so, and there's no shortcut there, so you'll find yourself, if you play this game, going through this little adventure several times in a row. So don't be too trying to remember which way to go. Of course, there's always a guide that you can follow. It's pretty much the easiest way to follow, but this can be quite tricky because there are, as you probably hear, vampires. Always female. These vampires are always female. Absorbed to the spell. The male vampires, the ancient vampires, are a lot tougher because I think they've got spell reflection, whereas this one does not. Jeez, although she is quite tough. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whew, 9 little shots and she still didn't die. Usually they just die in one. She must have cast some sort of spell reflection. Okay, so let's just level up here. I'll chuck everything into strength because I do want a little bit more encumbrance. Oh, so we're level 9. We are level 9 anyway, so not too high. There's no point in putting any more into intelligence because we've got high enough magicka anyway. So we just need a little bit. Speed, agility at this point is it's not really necessary. Once you've got it, once you're managing to hit things, which I am now, I don't really need anything else. Now let's head down one of these little corridors. Or do we head back the other way? I think there's another vampire around here. I don't particularly want to wander into one of them. Okay, so we're at the bottom here, and this is the area where we actually need to be. There's a kind of a little puzzle coming up next. It's not too difficult a puzzle, but you notice these kind of Direnni banners that are all over the place. It's basically a bull. A little ghost in front of us. Not too tough. Right. So this area is a puzzle area. You've got the Direnni banners. You've got a doorway this way, which you need to get through. But that way, basically, it's blocked by lots of these breeze blocks, and you need to move these breeze blocks by pulling these levers. There's 4 levers around this central area. You can see the Direnni banners there. What you need to do is you need to see where these banners are, and you need to pull the opposing banners. Do not pull the ones without the banners opposite. So yeah, so there's a banner, there's the lever, pull that lever, go around to the other side, pull this lever, that moves in an odd way. Of course you can do this by trial and error, but all it means is that you will end up going back through the doorway and find out that your way is blocked, and that's no fun really. So just pull those levers right next to the banners and you'll find your way nice and open for you. I didn't need to do that. Wonder what enemies are lurking around here. Yeah, so if you don't pull these levers, you'll find that these breeze blocks, these giant bricks, are in your way, and the only way to move them is by yanking on those levers. Gotta say, the game makes that quite easy for you, because you've got those levers. They're really obvious to pull. Sometimes in the later dungeons you'll find that you have to activate switches that are a lot more subtle, and in random dungeons of course that can be a complete nightmare to get through. For instance, that chain that you needed to levitate up, I mean, so often that chain is just decoration, so you'd never think that you'd have to pull on it. That's well, something went wrong there. So anyway, let's go back through again. Occasionally the game glitches like that, so we have to restart. Right, so I hear a few monsters in front of me, and just a wraith. Again, really annoying to hit because they're floating above you, and it's really difficult to get a sword swing on them. Of course, they can't come down the stairs. That's an advantage. And there is another wraith a little bit further up. So we're just going around this corner. You can hear the wraith actually. Or is it a ghost? It's a wraith. Right, and we're getting very close to Medora now, but she's got one final guardian. And that final guardian is a lich, and that's one of the only opponents that can actually kill me, so I need to be extra cautious when I'm coming up here. I don't want to be blasted instantly. You can see him wandering off up there. Zap him. Unfortunately, he's not that tough. He must have had a spell reflection. You can see that he took down a good amount of my health. I think he just reflected the spell onto me and it damaged me quite a lot. But anyhow, we can't rest here. Well, let's heal up in case there are any more enemies. Don't think there are though. See what this guy's got. Just some alchemy ingredients, a lot of gold. Is that a 4-leaf clover? No, just ginkgo leaves. Okay. White rose, giant's blood. Nothing particularly good, unless we wanted to make loads of potions. But hey, we don't need to do that. Anyway, let's get in here, and you'll see we've got a nice room, and there's a cage for some reason, and this woman lives here behind, looked after by a lich. She's got a spinning wheel and some axes, and she's posed like that. Greetings, Count Medora, Direnni, former sorceress of the Court of Daggerfall. I'm interested in helping you exercise the spirit of King Lysander. I can do little in my present circumstances, but if you would pay a visit to another sorceress, I can lift the curse on Direnni Tower. Will you do this for me, Cat? I mean, yeah, okay, we don't really get much dialogue, but we've got to do this, haven't we? We've got to exercise the spirit of King Lysander, so we are going to say yes. And of course she's asked nicely, and basically we want to raise the curse because, yes, anyway, we'll be in your debt, Cat. Nafalga, the mother of my former Lord Lysander, is a renowned mystic. I've heard whispers the loss of her sons turned her mad with grief. If this is not true, she can aid me. Need a great unicorn horn to break the curse of Direnni Tower. If Nafalga's mad, you may search for the castle for the horn yourself. I'll expect you back in 118 days. Okay, so to lift the curse on Direnni Tower so that she can help us exercise the restless spirit of King Lysander's, we need to go and get the unicorn horn, which is easier said than done. That is in the dungeon of She-Dunget. So let's teleport back. And let's get out of here, because we don't want to spend another moment in here.